Okay, so this is your intro features to a quadratic. A lot of this might be kind of easy because we've been kind of doing this already. So first thing, pause, then press play. Quadratic function, it's any function of the family y equals x squared, so that's our parent function. And then a parabola is the shape of the graph. So if you have a quadratic function, if you were to graph it, it looks like a parabola. And remember, a parabola would just be like that U shape. So that would be our parabola. Some of our key features, so again, pause, copy it down, press play. Where the parabola changes direction, so it's its max or its min, so like it's always like the high point or the low point, like there's its vertex, or there's its vertex. Like right here, it's the min of the parabola, right here, it's the max. The roots are 0 where it crosses, so if I have a parabola like this, those are my roots where it crosses. The direction doesn't open up or down, so like right up here, which way is it opening? This one's opening down, this one's opening up. And the scale factor, this is that shrink, that would be like that a, so like x plus 4 squared minus 2. If we put like a 1/3 here, that would be a shrink. So those are the things that we kind of just looked at. So we're going to do these things, but then we're also going to write the equation for it. Because this has it as a quadratic equation, but we're going to write it how we've been practicing. So first, let's talk about the vertex. So if we look at that vertex, we just look at what that coordinate point is, right? H, comma, k. We don't like to use x and y. Normally it's x, y, but the function has x and y in it, so that's why we call it h and k. So my x value for this point is 5, and my y value is -2. So there's my vertex. Next thing is to find those roots. I can easily find them by just looking at where it crosses here. So I can see that it crosses at 4 and 6. If you didn't have a graph or you couldn't tell exactly where it was crossing, there's a couple of options. You could have done the quadratic formula to find 4 and 6. If we look at this equation, right, they gave us an equation. X is like our a value is greater than 1, so we try the quadratic. But I could have also factored out at 2 and then got x squared minus 10x plus 24. And then I could have done factoring. I could have done the box on this, and I would have also gotten 4 and 6. So my roots are where it crosses, so that's 4 and 6. My direction is it opening up or down? And I can see that it's opening up. And then scale factor. So remember, my normal parabola, my parent function, I go over 1, then I go up 1. I go over 2, then I go up 4. Go over 3, then I go up 9. I'm just squaring them. 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9. If we look at this graph, I'm going, let me erase all this down here. I'm going over 1, up 1, 2. Going over 1, up 2. I'm going over 2, up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Going over 2, up 8. So then I would compare these numbers. Mine went to get from 1 to 2, you can think of it as I'm timesing by 2. To get 4 to 8, I'm timesing by 2. So my scale factor is a factor of 2. So if I were to put this all together, y equals, so first I don't have to do anything with my roots for this one. It's up, so I don't need a negative sign, right? My direction's up, that means it was not reflected, so I don't need a negative. So I'm good. I'm going to put this in. I went positive 5, so I'm going to show that it's positive by going -5. It went down 2, so I'm going to keep it as a -2. So now I have my vertex. I don't need a negative because it's facing up. My scale factor is 2, so I would just put a 2 there. Also with the scale factor, I just want to show something else. Just say this was my graph, like instead of this. One, two, three, four. So just say it was like doing this type of a thing. To figure out your, oh, that's a really bad parabola, whatever. To figure out your scale factor, so it's normally 1 goes with 1, 2 goes with 4, 3 goes with 9, right? And if we look here, I'm going over half up 1. So now I'm going 0.5 to 1. Now I'm going over 1 up 4, over 1 up 4. So the thing that's changing now isn't the thing on the left, it's the thing on the right. So to get from 1/2 to 1, or to get from 1 to 2, right? I'm thinking like this. This is now shrinking. So like when you're comparing your x values, it's more of a shrink here. So now this would be a scale factor of 1/2 if it was shrinking this way. So think of it, that might help. I'll also go over that in class. So before class, find the parabola if you know the roots. For example, in the graph, blah, 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 the roots are 2 and 4. So how could you figure out the vertex? So if you looked at that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we know it's 2 and 4, right? It looks like this. Well, that's really bad. How could I figure out what that vertex is? How could I figure that out? Your story today, when I was in college, I took a lab. Well, I had to take a lot of labs. But in one of my labs, and you have a lab partner, we couldn't figure something out, so we were asking our professor. And he started walking away, but I wasn't done asking him a question. So as he was walking away, I was being like Spider-Man and using my like web slinging skills. And I was like, with my fingers and everything, like, and in the middle of me trying to web fling him to catch him to bring him back, he turned around and looked at me, and I was just like, "Does that need help?" So, no, it's kind of awkward. There's the story. Bye.